that point. Because everything we need and want, somebody else has it. It's information, it's knowledge, it's wisdom. Because I tell people, money doesn't start in your head, it starts in your head. And with the internet now, all the information's here. I had a guy that said he got a degree, and I think, what do you call it? Computation. It's just dealing with numbers. He said, do you know I can Google the stuff I went to school for, and the answer's right there. It happened to my son. His teacher called me. He's 15 years old. The teacher called me and said, hey, I think your son is doing his homework on the computer. It looks like computer-generated answers. I'm thinking to myself, duh, that's what I would do. If I don't know that, all the answers are there. You could type in a math problem, it'll tell you the answer. I'm wondering, how do they even teach? Because he's got an iPhone.
Yep.
He can sit there and Google it. And just so happen, teachers know how to figure out if it's, he really tried to figure it out or he got it off the computer. And I've actually seen him do his homework and he had a computer. And I didn't really think nothing about it. I just thought that was part of his homework was he had to go on the computer and look up something. Just like you read a book, everything's there now. But this guy here is getting all of his answers and just like he's just a straight A student. But there are people that walk through life like that. And but he don't know, and I have to talk to him and tell him, dude, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn how to do it because once you get out here, a lot of answers you're not gonna be able to go look up like that in life. When you have a situation, a problem, you gotta try to figure it out. That's what school is trying to teach you. You gotta figure out, I wanna start a business. How do I go? What do I do? All the answers are there, but if you don't know really how to look for them, you just copy them basically. But in life, you don't do that. And that's what happened with me. When I was in school, I was like a D student, E student, F, sometimes G student. I mean, how can you get a doggone G? I heard an F. But that's just how bad I thought I was. But I was just unfocused. And so when I came over here and I started studying selling, and I started figuring out, sales equations. I mean, I actually go to sleep and figure out how to sell somebody. And I was like, I'm not that dumb. I just didn't like what they was teaching me. And so what I tell people is the way my seminars are set up, ask questions. Because I'm the type of person, I don't watch TV. I don't go to the game. I don't like watching. Because I just understand my time is more valuable. So what I talk to people about is when you go to a job, you telling them you're worth $10 an hour. You're worth way more than that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And when I started figuring that out, I started making more money. I mean, I went from making $300 a week washing cars to $3,000 a month to $3,000 a weekend to $3,000 in one day to $3,000 in 4 hours. You know why? I kept setting goals. I just kept setting. I said one day I'm gonna make more than $300 a week. I started selling cars. I made $3,000 a month. I just kept setting goals. And I just kept setting them. But the problem is we're not really taught what goals are. See, goals have 3 steps. It's called fantasy, theory, and fact. And see, most people won't tell you that. They don't know. But I told myself when I talk to people, I want them to get something out of this.
Yep.
I don't want to just say there 3 steps to a goal and not actually show you how to do it. Because what I did was I did it. I went out and did it. I set the goals. Then I went back and I learned the theory of it. Because I wanted to learn the theory so I could teach it. And now that's what I do. And just the way I do it, I get calls from all over the United States now. I'm talking about companies. Because I got YouTube videos out there, website, and all this kind of stuff. I get calls all the time. All the time. Just because they're watching like this guy's making sense. Because nobody's doing it. But I told myself, this is what I want to do. I want to make sure I help somebody. Because I started seeing people training and talking to other people. And so what I would do is I would survey them. I'm like, man, you went to that seminar? I said, what you think about it? He said, well, the guy just talked for 2 hours. I went to sleep. Because it wasn't about them. He talked about whatever he wrote the speech. I said, no. It's like when you go to the doctor. When you go to the doctor, what do? They do the same thing every time. Take your pulse. Stick the thermometer in your mouth. Take the temperature. Take that stethoscope. Check your breathing. Put it on your chest. Put it on your back. Every time they do the same things. And so what I said is this. I want to create a business like what I had where I can be like a doctor. So I said, well, if I'm speaking, how do I do that? And so let me ask you a question. If I wrote a prescription down, you're to just say this is a doctor's office. All 4 of y'all here for a doctor's appointment. I gave all 4 of y'all the same prescription. Would it help you? Depends on what?
It depends on how
Your illnesses.
if you follow directions.
Exactly. But I'm saying I never talked to none of y'all. Y'all hadn't seen a nurse or nothing.
No.
That's the answer. Now, that's the reason why I did that. Most people are afraid to answer when a question comes up. But it's from our schooling. The little kids thinking you got it wrong or whatever. I was like that. I'm not gonna answer. I'm sitting in the back of the class and I'm stuck and down. Don't ask me to answer a question. Don't tell me to come up to the board. That's how I was in school. Now, I've spoken at colleges. I'm telling y'all, it's not to impress you, but to impress upon you. Everything we need, we have. I didn't know this. I had to go back and study this. I told myself, I said, man, I'm tired of being quiet. Because I was going to jobs scared. I was supposed to be talking to because I was scared to death. I didn't have any training. Nobody kept taking me by the hand and say, hey, man, come on, let me show you what to do. So I got to the point, man, what do I need to do to be successful? Because it was at that point, now they might fire me. I'm not making the money, I'm going to quit. So his mouth don't get fed. So I had to get to that point. And so what I did was, in the beginning, I started mimicking people. There were people, I mean, they were just, man, hey, how y'all doing today? This, and this. I'm like, man, how do I do that? Because I'm like, I got here, I was washing cars, I'm here. I don't want to go back to washing cars. It's hot out there. I'm inside in the shirt and tie and air conditioning. That's the only reason I want to sell cars. A lot of people don't know that. I put it in my book. The only reason I want to sell cars is because I was in 110-degree heat washing cars, and the guys was inside in air conditioning. I want to be a salesman. Why? Because I want to get in air conditioning. It wasn't even money. A lot of people don't know. My first thought wasn't even money. And then I did it. I'm going to tell you the short story how I did this. Is crazy. I washed cars for 3 months. And this is what I did. I was at Nissan. I told myself I wanted to wash cars. So I asked salespeople, hey man, just you come open, let me know. They're like, okay. They didn't think I was serious, so they never told me. Because I keep saying I'm hiring guys. I'm like, man, what in the world going on? What's that, man? What's this? These 2 dudes here. And they looking at me, oh man, I got you, don't worry about it. Then they come back, they're washing cars. I see 2 more guys come over, tires, you gotta know. They come for interview, they leave. They come today, they working. I said, dude, really? Come on, man. I want to sell cars. So this is what I did. I went to each salesperson. I said, hey man, I'm going to the club this weekend, let me wash your car. They would give me the keys, I wash their car, I will wax it. They pay me. I'm trying to get in good with them. That didn't work. Because still they was hiring guys, nobody told me. I said, okay. So I started putting applications in. So I would go to the receptionist, I would get an application every Friday, take it home Saturday, fill it out, bring it back Monday. I did that for 3 months. Every Friday, I'm getting an application. Because I got to the point now, I would walk to the receptionist with you like this. She knew every Friday, take it home, boom, fill it out. Boom, give it back to her. Next Friday, give me another one, take it home, fill it out, give it back to her on Monday. I did that for 3 months every Friday. Nobody called me and said, come for an interview. No problem. That's what happened. Nissan, right now, next door is Drive. Drive used to be Mazda, the guy that owned it. So we did detailing for Mazda. And so one day I drove a van up, gave the guy a key. The manager was telling a joke, so I was just standing there. And he told the punchline. It's like all these 7 in a big circle. I'm over here by the door catching some air because I got to walk back in this heat. And when he told the punchline, I started laughing. I looked at him, I said, man, you crazy. That's the craziest joke I ever heard. He looked at me, did just like this. You got a nice smile. You want to sell cars? I was like, dude, yeah. I'm like, I've been begging on fabrication, been begging to washing cars, yeah. He did just like this. And walked away. I was like, I don't miss my opportunity. I done begged these guys. I've been washing their cars, trying to get in good. I done did this and did that, filled applications. I lost my mind. I said, walk back next door. I'm talking about, you ever tell you, Charles, go to the room? I'm walking like this, so I go back over there. The next day, my manager said, hey, one of the cars up there flat. Look at the air compressor. So I went and got it. I had to go to Mazda. When I walked past to the service, I had to walk past Mr. Hart's office. When I walked past, he saw me. He was on the phone. He said, hey. He did just like this. Come here. Hung the phone up. He said, "You ready to sell cars?" I said, "Yeah, dude, I told you yesterday." He said, "You got a resume?" I said, "Yeah." Ran next door, went to my little apartment, got my resume and gave it to him. He looked at it. "You went to college?" I said, "Yeah." "You went back there washing cars?" I said, "Just paying the bills." He said, "Come here." Took the resume to the other manager. He looked at it, gave it back to him, and said, "Come to work Monday with a shirt and tie on." I'm like, "Playing? Are you serious?" But you walked away from me yesterday and said nothing. He said, "Come to work Monday, shirt and tie on with training." I said, "Okay." So I went back to the detail shop, took my detail shirt, started unbuttoning it, threw it on the door. My man said, "Where you going?" "I'm going home." "Man, you got that. Hopped in my truck and went home. Told my grandma, "Hey, I need some money. I need some slacks. I need some dress shoes. I need some ties." I said, "What you doing?" So they hired me to sell cars. "You know how to sell cars?" "No." I said, "Well, he said he gonna train me." She said, "Okay." Took me out the gate first. Went shopping. Boom, Monday. I drove my truck, parked it behind Nissan on purpose. I walked through Nissan like this, dressed up. You know what the guy say? "Man, you can't wash no cars with shirt and tie on." So I ain't washing no cars. I walked past another guy. He said, "Hey man, here go some keys." Cause he just saw me and see what I had on. I'm like, "Man, watch that yourself." Every office I walked past, somebody said something. "Man, when you going to a funeral? Hey man, you got a job interview?" I walked to Monster. Mr. Hart said, "Come here." Took me upstairs. He said, "Hey, I want you to watch these tapes. I got some training tapes. You got 2 weeks of training. After your 2 weeks, I'm gonna give you a test. You pass the test, you go out there and start selling." It's okay. I sat there for 1 week. Cause see, I could look downstairs through the balcony and see guys selling. I said, "Man, I ain't been here no 2 weeks, but I'm ready to sell cars." So I went to doing this. I said, okay. I went home. On the way to work the next day, I brought my VCR. I stopped by the store and got some blank videotapes. I hooked my VCR to their VCR and I recorded all of those tapes. That weekend, I went home and I memorized the tapes. I didn't watch TV, I didn't go outside. I just sat there, watched one tape, put the other one in. And I just took notes. Watched them over all weekend, Saturday, all day Sunday. Got up early Sunday, stayed up late that night. Came to work Monday, said, "Mr. Hart, I'm ready for my test." Got another week of training. You only been up there 1 week. I don't need another week. He said, "Okay, smarty pants. Okay, here's the test." I came upstairs. Came back and said, "Mr. Hart, I'm finished." He said, "Okay, let's see what you did." He said, "Man, you got 100. How in the world you do that?" I said, "Well, I brought my VCR up here. I recorded the tapes. Took them on the weekend. I memorized them." He said, "Let me explain something to you." He said, "I've been here 5 years. I've had salesmen come up here and quit within 3 days. I've had them stay up here 3 weeks and don't pass the test. Because you know what? While the tape is playing, they goofing off. They had them all. They somewhere shooting pool, somewhere having a drink. I come upstairs and look for them. The tape on, ain't nobody in here." He said, "Let me explain something to you. I've never in 5 years had a salesperson to do that." Now, the reason I'm telling you that story is this. That's commitment. That's dedication. Persistence beats resistance. My goal was to do what? Become a car salesman. And I told myself, once I get there, I'm not going back. Whatever it takes. And see, that's what we have to do with our life. The most of it, we don't have anything that's a sense of urgency. We don't have nothing. Because it's not like you got a book report to do. It's just life. You can go through it and just clock in, clock out. That's it. But I just created a sense of urgency for my life so I could do what? Help others. That was the goal. And so now what I want to do is inspire other people. Because we can. We have everything we need to be successful. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people think that's because the Walmart started a business, they can only do it. Because the such and such opened up a car dealership, they can. The interesting thing is we can do what anybody else can do, but we can do it faster. You know why? Because Walmart, when they started, they didn't have the internet. Right now, you're looking at a person that's a C, D, E, F student speaking at colleges. Got people, got businesses calling him. You know why? Because I said, I'm gonna do it. And that's all we gotta do. We gotta just change the way we think. You just gotta start, instead of going this way, just go this way. You know, there are a lot of people that complain about, man, only the rich, this and this and this. They don't pay taxes. You know what I did? I said, well, okay, I'm over here on a job, and I gotta pay all these taxes, but the rich don't pay taxes. I just stand in line with the rich at. That's what I told myself. Okay, I gotta learn how to get rich. I just took complaining and just turned it around. And said, okay, instead of saying, I can't afford this, say, how can I afford it?
Yep.
That's all I did. That's all we have to do. And we think it's so complicated, but it's not. And I'm gonna break something down for you real simple. This right here is what's called unlimited potential. I know you can't see it that good, but that's what we have, unlimited potential. But we don't know it. Over here, all you gotta figure out is that once you figure out that you have it, is take massive action. Most people don't know how much action to take to get what they want. I'm gonna go over that too. Now, once you take massive action, what's gonna happen is you're gonna create unbelievable results. That's what I did. I took massive action. I studied and studied and studied. Now, once I got the results, that's gonna create a phenomenal belief system. And that's what I did. So once I did that, I'm like, dude, if I can do that, what if I can do this? And I just kept going. If I can make 300, what if I can make 3,000? I made 3. What if I can make 3,000 on a weekend? I did that. What if I can make that? You know, 1 month selling cars, I made $13,000. Years later, I was making 300 a week. I didn't go to school, didn't go to college, I just tapped into here. And see what it is we all have that sleeping giant within us. But what I'm able to do is reach inside of you, wake that sleeping giant up and show it to you and say, that's you. All you gotta do is believe it. That's it. And you just gotta have 3 things: faith, patience, and belief. But see, most people, they just tell themselves, I don't have it. He can do it, I can't do it. Now what if I would have thought that when I'm around at the car lot like this, almost hiding. Customer driving up, and guys going, they walking past me. Move out the way, youngster. Hey, how y'all doing? Yeah, come on in, let me show you how you do this. You can buy this car, and they doing, I'm sitting up here. And then, years later, the same place I was at, they asked me to train those same guys that walked past me. I just got to the point, I just got pissed off. I said, you know what, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of being quiet. I'm tired of this and this, not having no money. These guys walking past me, making money, walking past me, flashing money. This is when you're good, this is what you do. You get that money. Let me show you. They walking, I was like, what? I said, man, I just met some guys that wanted to help me. I said, man, how do I do this? I'm tired of this. What do I need to do? This and this and this. And they just helped me. I figured out how not to bug them, because I used to bug them. I would be eating lunch. He couldn't even talk to me. I asked him so many questions. Like, man, I'm eating. Give me a minute. So what I figured out how to do, I created a system. So what I did was I started having them coming to me. They knew I was hungry for knowledge, and so what they did was like, man, I'm struggling this, this, and this. You know, what you want to start doing? I seen you doing that. You want to try to do this. And then from there, I used to go to the bookstore. They used to have it in the mall, Books A Million. I used to go there on Sunday. Open up at 10. I would get there when they open. They close at 6. I would be in there reading books, 10 in the morning to 6 at night, selling, marketing, just reading books, advertising. How to do this, how to do this, how to sell this, how to sell that, how to sell that. I did that for years. And now with the internet, you don't have to. Everything is right here, all the information here. You know they got books, they got books called How to Be a Millionaire. And you know people don't even read them. Because here's what's interesting. I'm gonna tell you something that's really interesting. It's easier for you to become a millionaire than to hit the lottery.
Oh yeah.
The odds, you know, they look at the odds, they say, well, the odds are, what is it, like 1 in 1 trillion of hitting the 700 million Powerball, or 1 in 500 million that you'll hit it. The odds are greater for you to come up with an idea, put it online, and sell it to everybody. So then you can sell anything you want to sell, global. You can talk to people anywhere. You know, I had a partner, she was in Miami, she called me, and the person she had on three-way was in France, and she was talking to me about business. Tim, yeah, I like what you do, and you need to join this business with me. We're gonna make some money. Hold on a second, let me put you guys. The guy started talking, I'm like, why does he sound like that? Oh, he's in France. He was talking English, but it was like he was like a French person. I'm like, I was trying to like, is she trying to scam me? I was like, this guy, I'm like, why? What is this? You know, because I'm like, you know, hold on a second. And that, which I didn't do anything with it, but it was an opportunity that I just probably passed over. And that's where this comes from, poor. Poor means passing over opportunities repeatedly. And most people have opportunities that show up, and because they don't know how to recognize them, they just pass them. And what happens is that could have opportunity that could have made you financially free. But they just never stuck with it. Because most people, what they do is, well, I'm gonna try this. Stop doing that. If I do something, I go all the way in. You know, most people, like, if they don't know how to swim, they go to the water, just their toe in. Ooh, it's cold. And now what I do is I walk past them and just, I do that with everything I do. I give everything I got in everything I do. Whatever I do, I give everything I got. I put it in it. You know, I used to go to work. The guy said, be here at 9. I just show up at 7:30. They wouldn't even open. I just sit on the porch. About 8 o'clock, somebody come over the building. I got my vacation. I get in there and I'm just getting everything ready. They said, okay, we close at 7. I'll be there at 8 o'clock. Guy, the janitor be there, cut off the lights. You spending the night? I'm like, oh, okay. I did that for years. I used to go to Nissan when they were closed on Sunday and sit on the porch. People would drive up. I would say, hey, how you doing? You got any questions? Let me know. Give them a card and run back over here and sit down. Because what I figured out, people on Sunday don't want to be bothered. But guess what happened? I kept doing that. I come to work Monday, they started calling me. And next thing you know, Mondays I was selling 3 cars every Monday. And people would come up to me like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? I wouldn't tell them. And so what happened was, my manager asked me to train him. And so every dealership I started going to after that, I would leave one and go to another. I would leave Nissan and go to Honda. I would start selling cars, and next thing you know, boom. He said, hey, can you train these guys? I would leave there and go to another one. And in 90 days, they were like, hey, can you train these guys? I've been there 5 years, but they asking me to do the training. But what they didn't know was I said in my mind, I want to be a trainer. And so in the mid-90s, what I did was, I used to walk in the mall and tell myself I own the mall. And then what I used to do, I used to walk by every store and say, how can I make this store more money? I did it with every store. You walk in the mall, I would go in this store and think, okay, there needs to be some music, we need to do this person not saying nothing, they need to greet me. I would walk out and walk in this store. So now, no matter what you have a problem with, I don't care what you do, who you are, I can help you. Because I did something what's called, I developed my mind muscle or my mental muscle. So just imagine, if I went to the gym for 8 hours, 5 days a week for 20 years, working out, lifting weights, how would I look? If I went to the gym 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 20 years, how would I look? I did that with this. So this right here, it's not even a drop in the bucket what I can help people with. It's just a start. But I got so, because I just read books and books and books and books. And then I just study people. I used to just watch people, just look at them. People come to buy a car, I just watch them. They would do this. I had a guy one time, he came up. He said, Tim, I'm not buying them today. I said, no problem. And what I noticed was, I would put a piece of paper in front of him, and he would sign it. I said, okay. So I'll get another piece of paper. He said, I'm not buying it today. I said, okay. Sign that right there. He would sign it. I'm like, what in the world? What's going on? I said, hey, I got this. You got to sign this right here. All right, I'll sign it, but I ain't buying nothing. He signed everything I put in front of him. I got the folder, took it to my manager. He gave it to another manager. Next thing you know, I went and got him. He went to the back. I told the manager, I said, hey, when you give him the payments and send him the down payment on stuff, he gonna say he ain't buying nothing. Just put the contract in front of him. He's like, what? What are you talking about? I said, just do it. I went and I would walk back and kind of listen. I said, I ain't buying it today. He said, okay, sir, yeah, how about you just sign this here? And I was looking, he would be doing this. The guy got up with all these papers and walked out the building. I said, Tim, I didn't come here to buy nothing today. I said, I know, but I came to sell something. And so what I did was, I really just didn't listen to him. So I'm saying that to say this. I'm not trying to just tell you these stories just to be saying them. What you gotta do is you gotta talk to yourself. All of us have that person on our shoulder. It's with that fear. Oh man, you go over there, they gonna turn you down. They ain't gonna give you this job. You go over there, they gonna say no. That's the other person. You gotta kick it with your butt. And you gotta just go push past that fear. Because like I said, that fear is a false expectation, event, experience of evidence appearing real. Fear does not exist.